Hello and welcome to the Lake District. Today I'm going to be doing a ride up at Ings near Staveley because I was actually going to be doing the Balderdale Bash, but the weather has been so bad that even with a onesie on we got absolutely wet through, and as you know, once you're cold and wet the rides are just not as enjoyable. I've even got this blooming skull cap on today that I'm going to be putting underneath my helmet to try and keep myself dry. So it's just a short one today. So we're starting off here at the Ings bike shop, Bike Trek's a great bike shop, great bunch of lads in there. They're all mountain bike riders, it really does make a difference. Enough wafflage, let's get going. So we're about, I don't know, a mile and a half from Ings now, and we are going to be starting a nice slated technical climb, which is just really enjoyable, before we get to some real nice chunky downhill back down into the village on the other side. So this behind me is really where the climb starts on this ride, and if you love the technical aspect of mountain biking, that uphill, having to pick your lines, you're actually really going to enjoy this. And even though it's wet and grimy and horrible, it's really a completely different day today here in the lakes. And when the slate here, especially at Staveley and Ings, very rocky and slaty at the top, when it's wet it just looks beautiful, and maybe it's just me that thinks that. But it's time to get the A game on, get to the top of this mountain for some real chunky, gnarly good stuff on the other side. We're almost at the top now, and as you can see, this is not fog, it's actually cloud based. We're really high up today, and the bridleway here is more like a gentle stream, which is nice to ride in. Whether it's good for your e-bike I don't know, but yeah, let the chunk begin. As we get over the top here, I'm going to apologise now and say that my brakes are going to be screaming like a howling banshee. I've got a funny feeling, let's just test them. Oh, it's going to be absolutely horrendous, ladies and gentlemen. So I might even turn the sound off and put some music on, because it does my head in. You as a viewer, it's going to be even worse. And here we go, the symphony of the Basset hounds. It's going to sound as soon as I put my brakes on. Yeah, terrible. My nose is running at the top of the mountain here. We've done a bit of a climb. As I mentioned, we're now in the clouds. Is it clouds or is it that foggy Lake District goodness? I'm not quite sure, but it's time to get off the mountain into the chunk, which is over there, some ripe pineapple chunk as we get down into the valley. And we've got a bit of a slog across the field. Do you know what? Enough waffle. We'll find it, you can ride it. Loving the onesies now that we've sorted them out. And there's Mark, the legend.
The leg A.
Let's go. Now I know the GoPro effect is probably going to make this look like a pebble beach, like it's absolutely nothing, but trust me, it isn't. And with it being quite a gradient here, it's hard to stop because all the rocks continue momentum on. So helmet, elbows, whatever you can get on if you're going to give it some speed. I'm not pushing my luck because the lakes is always a disaster zone for me. legs are aching.
That was fantastic.
So we're down the worst of it now. We're going to be heading down into the valley. Funnily enough, the brakes have stopped squeaking now. Yeah, it was about here I came off. What a great day today. It's hard to do it without my chin mount. Yeah. Just as we get to the bottom of the valley, your arms and legs are going to be aching because we're constantly on the brakes all the way down. So don't let that speed get carried away. Now, there are a few road sections on this trail, but every single one of them is really enjoyable. None of them are a slog. But what I want to say is just watch out for other cyclists. Watch out for farm vehicles. Watch out for caravans. Watch out for hikers. Watch out. You know what? Just watch out for everything. Extremely fast, very, very slippy, and some of these turns are really sharp at the bottom. Just be careful and get ready for another belting downhill that's coming up after this little climb.
Right, ready.
Here we go. Bit of fun down here. Oh yeah, it's slippy.
Oh, just make it round that. We're all sliding it round the corner.
Lots of it. Oh, great fun. Great fun. No bother today at all. No bother. Nice one. So we're heading up to Hall Lane now, and this bit, I'll be honest, is a bit of a slog. It's not very exciting, and when it's really, really muddy, well, this is the part where I almost got stuck in the mud. The bike just went in a massive hole over the top of these fields. But we're much fitter now, 4 years later on, with the eaves. So this should be nothing. Oh God! This section really is horrible because you get to parts where your front wheel just sinks in because you just don't know how deep the bits are underneath.
Oh!
Camera of doom!
Camera of doom!
You were responsible.
I certainly was. It's going to get you at some point.
It's so great to get off the lower part of the mountain, just what, 50 meters or so. The exposure on the top is insane. Really ice cold water straight in your face, and the mountain really does punish you and also give you respite. Wow, that was quite an experience. Talk about boggy. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Woo. So yeah, we will be getting up the mountain very soon, and then heading down on that beautiful road all the way back to you know what, coffee and cake.
So Andy, I know you're a camera down, so your final sign off on this ride?
I think it's a really excellent technical up and down. However, I think the back section is just so boggy and muddy that it kind of takes the edge off it a little bit.
It really was one of the wettest places I think I've ridden for a long time, especially when I was up there for 4 days. Unfortunately, the first single boot ride that I went out with some of the Patreons, the camera was at the wrong angle and I lost a lot of the footage, but hey ho. And I also decided, burping away, drinking tea, I also decided to have 1 day off. It was just too much to have complete 5 days riding in those conditions, because even though you got a onesie on and waterproofs underneath, you got drenched. Now that also included getting the onesies retreated in the washing machine with certain chemicals to make them more waterproof, but the rain was relentless. A big shout out to the mountain bike amigos. I will put their link in the description box below if you want to have a look, but thank you to every one of them. I hope they enjoyed my weekend away, shall we say, with the guiding and everything else. I hope they enjoyed it, but I certainly enjoyed myself, and it's great to ride with some fellow-minded riders. If you'd like to download this GPX file, it will be available in the description box below. I can't get my teeth in. Maybe it's all the cold I've had over the last 4 days. You will find it in the description box below. A boggy, muddy mess on the back half of this ride, but it always has been. Every time I've done this one, it's always been the same. But that up and down, that technical bit, riding on slit is just a pure joy. Anyway, I'll find it, you can ride it. I shall see you in some more Lake District videos, no doubt, but also some dales and some peaky goodness. I'll see you in another video coming real soon. Bye-bye. Have a great, happy new year.
Lovely day for a jog. Somebody's left this here. Come here, love. I'll take you down the mountain. I'll ride you like I've stolen you. What Cape Beckinsale? Oh, we haven't had one of them jokes for a long time, have we? Yeah, because at one point it first down.
Let's see if this works. But here we are, halfway up a mountain.
I'm being filmed while I'm being filmed. That's the first. Ooh.